Welcome to another Flutter video. In this video, let's learn how to work with grid in Flutter. So sometimes you don't want to display the items in a list view widget. Instead, you want to use a grid. So for that, you have to learn how to work with grid view in Flutter. So if you want to follow along, create a new Flutter project and you can name this Flutter underscore grid underscore widget. Inside of it, open your lib folder and create a new subfolder named pages. Inside of this page subfolder, create this new file, home underscore page.dart. As you can see right here, this is a stateful widget, but you can also create a stateless widget. We only are providing the title, and then for the build method, we are returning a scaffolding widget. We'll use the body property to create our grid. So then you can call your widget inside of your material app widget right here, and then you can add a title as I have right here, GridView widget. So to be able to display a grid, you have to come right here in the body and call the GridView widget. This widget is responsible to create your grid for your project, and inside of it you can have properties for some customizations, and you also have the property to specify how many items you want to display in the cross X direction. That means how many items you want to display or how many columns you want to have inside of your grid. So to define that, you have to use this property right here, grid delegate. Let's learn in this video how to work with grid delegate. And also you can see alternative to using grid delegate right here. So this property will take these two classes right here. Sliver grid delegate with fixed cross X count and sliver delegate with max cross X extend. First, let's learn how to work with this cross X count. So right here, you just have to specify how many columns you want to have inside of your grid. Let's say we want to create 2 columns. So add the value 2 right here. And then we have to call the children property right here. So instead of using this list to specify fixed widgets or to hardcode this widget inside of this list, let's use the List.generate method. And let's generate 20 items for our grid. So right here for the length property, you specify the value of 20. And then for this generator, you can see this is an anonymous method that will return a widget. So let's create an anonymous method right here. And then you can use this index as an argument to iterate inside of your list. So right here, let's return a widget. Let's say we want to return a card widget. Add a semicolon right here. And then for the child, we want to display a center widget. And then for the child of the center widget, this will be a text widget. And let's use item and then do a string interpolation using the index argument. So save everything. And you can see now you have your grid with 2 columns, and then the rows are generated automatically. If you want to have 4 columns, just specify the value of 4. You can also add space. So you have right here the main axis space and the cross axis space. The main axis space comes from top to bottom, and the cross axis space go from left to right. So let's say we want to add 10 pixels for gap vertically and horizontally. We also want to add 10 pixels for gap. So save everything. You can see this will decrease the size of each item inside of your column widget. So you can leave with just this cross X count property right here. Save everything. And now let's see how we can work with the cross axis extend. So call the grid delegate property again, and then call now sliver grid delegate with max cross axis extend. So if the cross axis count is how many items you want to place right here, so the cross axis extend is to define how wide each column will be. So let's say we want to each column to have 100 pixels. So we can see we can place 5 columns in the cross axis direction. Let's say now we want to display 300 for the width, and you can place only 2 items. So if you don't want to use this default name constructor, you also can use this builder name constructor, count name constructor, and extend name constructor, as well as this costume right here. So let's say we want to use this count. Now we have to call the cross axis count right here this way, and let's say we want to display 4 items, and now we have 4 items for your columns. The same way, if you use the extend, let's comment this property right here. You can use this main axis extend, and let's say 200 pixel. So save everything, and you can place 3 items for column. So use this extend count and default name constructor when you know how many items you have inside of your list. If you don't know the size of your list, or you getting this data dynamically from the web service, use this builder method right here. So for that, we have now to comment this property and uncomment this grid delegate property right here. And also we have to provide item count. This usually will be the list.length property, but for now, let's say we want to display 10 items. And then we have to specify this method that will return a widget right here, item builder. You will get this context as well as this index as an argument. And inside of it, you can return a widget. Let's say we want to return a card widget again. So copy and paste right here. And now let's comment these properties right here. So now save everything. Let's say we want to place 3 columns. And this is how we can work with builder name constructor. As you can see, the builder name constructor is the same as you use inside of a list view widget. And by the way, if you didn't see a video on how to work with list view widgets in Flutter, you can click in the card that you see on the screen right now, or you can click on the link on the description below. We also have more videos about working with list views in Flutter. The link is also in the description below. So this is it for this video. As you can see, we have a few options to create a grid. One more thing before we go, let's say I want to place 5 items or 4 items inside of this grid view widget. Let's change this size to be 2 items for each row, and we don't want this list to scroll. So to do that, you can come right here and call the physics property, and you can use this class right here, never scrollable. Save it, and you can see now your grid won't be scrollable anymore. So this is it for this video. Give this video a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notification when new videos are coming out. And if you have any question, leave a comment. I'll reply to you as soon as possible. This is it. See you on the next one.